Welcome and thanks for joining me for this 3-week teaching series. So this is class number one. In class number one, I'm going to really dive deep into what's called grounding our energy. And what essentially grounding is it's you're grounding your energy back to you. As I'll start by explaining what being ungrounded is. So ungrounded is basically you've scattered your energy either outside of yourself, too much of your energy. So what ends up happening is that ends up weakening a person. Like for instance, like in the case of myself, when I find myself ungrounded, I feel like I'm more stressed, or I might feel like some achiness. I might feel uncomfortable. Definitely get sucked into other people's drama much easier, frustrated, more fearful. So it all depends on where you're investing your energy. So there's many different ways to get ungrounded. For instance, through our habits and behaviors, like if you are always investing your energy into other people and not investing it into yourself, never pulling it back to you, you're causing yourself to get ungrounded. And that eventually so that begins by wearing you down energetically, and then you start to feel it mentally, emotionally, and then physically. So I find it's really hard for a person to fully heal when they're like chronically ungrounded. So, and we could think we're doing something good, for example, like we have a family and we're investing lots of energy into our family, our children, husband, or wife, but we're never bringing our energy back to ourselves. So therefore we're very scattered, and then that depletes us. And then we're like, well, I like investing my time and energy to my family, but I feel so tired and drained all the time, and it's like I can barely get out of bed, or something like that. So it's really important to make sure that we ground ourselves on a daily basis. Also, sort of on a negative standpoint, how we can become ungrounded for investing our energy into certain emotions. So if we're like very fearful about something, if we're always investing our energy into fear, being afraid of something, we're putting our energy into fear, which is ungrounding us. Or even if we're investing our energy into joy, like chasing joy, like for instance, like I want to go have a good time, I want to go to this party, that party, because it makes me feel good. But you're investing that energy out into the world and never bring it back to yourself. So it's like always chasing the carrot, because you're wanting something which you need to actually develop within yourself. So there's a few different reasons on how we can become ungrounded, but ultimately, like I was saying, when we're ungrounded too long, it eventually wears us down to physically weakening us, draining us, and therefore we don't feel that support within us. So therefore we look for outside things to sort of fill us up, but it never seems to be enough. Like we might, depending on your state of being, like if you know a bunch about health, okay, I'm always gonna like get the greatest food to help me to feel better, or the supplements to make, or seeking help from somebody else to help me to feel better. But ultimately, we need to come back to ourselves, connect with ourselves, bring our energy back on a daily basis, because it's just so easy in this modern era to become ungrounded, because our genes, our genetics are built for sort of spending more time in nature, where we would naturally pick up that natural grounding feeling from the earth, that natural environment. But because we live in such an unnatural environment, or at least most of us do, that it's so easy to become ungrounded now. Like we can wake up, like don't even become grounded during our sleep. So we wake up feeling already like sort of like flustered or unrested, because all night long we've been like allowing like to be affected by electricity, Wi-Fi and such. So it's very, again, ungrounding to us. So in today's class, I'm going to be teaching a very simple exercise on how to ground yourself. And I recommend that everyone do this daily. And as I do this daily, because I work with people all over the world and I need to make sure that I'm centered and focused. And that's how I sort of figured out that how well this stuff works, because I'm practicing it on a daily basis. And I've noticed how quickly it shifts me, how quickly it makes me feel better and brings me back into balance. Because if I notice if I'm not grounded, like I was saying earlier, that I really notice the impact, because I'm very sensitive sort of mentally and emotionally. So I can definitely tell when I'm off, and there's always that I've left a part of myself somewhere, or I'm too connected with something outside of myself. So I have to pull myself back, for sure, collect all of myself. So let's do this exercise all together. I recommend doing if you're on here live, and just to follow along. And again, certainly you can do this after the class as well, again, to sort of get a feel for it and to gain more from the recording. And find each time you do it, you're going to gain more and more wisdom, understanding of it. So if this is your first time doing this exercise, you may feel like, oh, I'm not sure how I felt. So it's like just to continue to practice it, because the more you practice something, the better you'll get at it. So to ground, there's obviously many different ways to do it, but I'm going to show you how I do it in a very simple way. And grounding, you might think, oh, I need to be touching the earth to ground, or I need to be, but you don't. It's through our intention, we can connect to the earth, and that helps us to ground really fast. I see it as similar as sort of like, obviously in-person grounding. So if we are connecting with the earth, it is going to be certainly very powerful doing it that way, but you don't have to. So it's similar to if you were calling a friend up on the phone. You're making a connection with them, but it's usually that connection is not always going to be the exact same if you were saying an in-person connection. But so we're just sort of, right now we're doing sort of the talking on the phone version of connecting with the earth to sort of return all our energy, bring it back to us here. So like I said, I'll just get everyone to follow along with me here. So start by just closing your eyes and taking 3 deep breaths here, in and out through your nose, because first of all, this will just help to relax your body, bring you into the present moment here. Begin that now here. Now that you've taken those 3 deep breaths, get you just to bring your awareness to your body, and you can just bring it to the lowest part of your body. And just say to yourself that I am connected to Mother Earth, and I allow the energy of Mother Earth to flow through me with ease and grace. And then just allow yourself to feel how your body feels, because what you're doing is you're bringing all your awareness back to your body so you can feel it now. So I'll just give everyone a few moments just to sort of feel, just have your eyes closed. Just feel your body, feel what it's telling you. So you may feel relaxed during this, and this is just, if you're feeling more relaxed, you're just letting your energy flow. But if you're feeling any sort of tension, tightness, constraint, or having any sort of negative thoughts, or images. This is stuff that's inside of you that also affects you from being fully grounded here. So, and many times it's why a person is, or we project ourselves out because we want to avoid these feelings, these thoughts, these images that are going on inside of us. But at some point you've allowed these sort of, if you're one that experiences sort of negative feelings, or at different times, if you do this again, you notice sort of negative feelings or thoughts or images, you've allowed those in. So it's like, at this point you can allow those to leave now as well. So it's like, let go of those negative thoughts, let go of those negative feelings or images, release those from you. Because this will help you to more of your energy to return back as well, giving more space for it to flow. So what I like to do while I'm connecting with Mother Earth is just ask Mother Earth if there's a message for me at this time. So simply just put your awareness on the center of your chest and just ask that question, Mother Earth, do you have a message for me at this time? Just allow yourself to feel what wants to naturally arise up to your consciousness or feelings that occur for you. You may get the answer no if there's no message for you at this time. What this is all doing is it's helping to establish even a stronger connection with the earth energy, which naturally brings you all your energy back into your body. But if you do get a message, just allow yourself to feel it, listen to it, respect the message. Mother Earth might tell you that you need to do something too to help you to bring your energy back. So obviously do your best to follow that message, to trust that intuitive guidance. Because when we trust our intuitive guidance, our intuition becomes stronger and realizes, okay, like you're taking responsibility for yourself. So if you're going to start listening to me, then I'm going to start working better for you. And you can continue doing this until there's no more messages to be told, because sometimes when we haven't been listening for a while, there could be a backlog of messages for a person. So you can, if you got a message, you can always ask again, is there any other messages for me at this time? And there may be, or there may be not. So, and another thing you can also ask for is there a specific vibration for me at this time? Because messages will usually can come across as like thoughts or images and feelings as well, but a vibration will just be sort of just a resonance. And there's typically always a vibration for somebody. So it's just at this point now, if you haven't already, just you can ask Mother Earth, is there a vibration you would like to share with me at this time? And again, just feel that vibration. And vibration is going to be different for everybody, but I typically find for myself, it's a very calming sort of just a balancing vibration. And again, it's bringing yourself back into harmony, back into balance with yourself, so you can have more energy, be healthier, be happier as a result, because it's really just about bringing you back in alignment with your true self. Because when we're ungrounded, the opposite side, we're not acting our true self. Like we can do things that we end up regretting or not feeling good about because we were so out of balance. We were acting out of sort of old behaviors, old patterns. So the more we bring our energy back, the more we become in the present moment and realize that we might be acting out of old behaviors, old patterns, old beliefs that are no longer serving us, and that we need to upgrade ourselves by usually letting those go and acting from how we truly want to be feeling, how we want to be acting from, rather than this old stuff that we learned a long time ago that's no longer serving us. So if you're someone that recognizes that you have things that you do that you don't like, or that keep showing up that you don't like, it's typically because of that. You're running off old patterns, and these old patterns are all in our subconscious mind, which controls essentially like 96 to 97% of everything we do in our life. So that just goes to show that it's really important to align your subconscious mind with exactly what you do want, rather than old things that that you don't like. So the only way that that's going to happen is if you put in the work, the time to do that. And really, this exercise that I just showed you can literally take a few minutes to do. So everyone should have enough time to do it. And so we can't really use the excuse, I don't have enough time to sort of get grounded. You need to make the time, make yourself a priority over everything else. Because as I was saying in the beginning, like if we put our energy into too many other things, or one thing, like for instance our work, I'm always putting all my energy into my work that I'm doing, then it's like it's never bringing it back to yourself, and you're investing so much energy. And then what happens when your work suddenly disappears, or if that you lose your job, all that energy that you've invested into that is so-called like gone with that job. So that's why, or like into a relationship, that's why many people, when they break up with a person, they feel like empty, because they've invested so much of their energy into that relationship, and that person has so much of their energy still. So this exercise here will help to just gently return your energy back to you. So I highly recommend doing it every single day. And as I was saying earlier, doing this out in nature or in a natural setting, it's going to be even that much more powerful for you. Or especially if you can connect right to something natural, like for instance, putting your hands on a tree, or having your feet on the ground, or your feet in the water or something, and doing this exercise, it's like you'll basically experience a lot of what's called like unconditional love, sort of like a spiritual bliss type feeling, like magnified by like 100 times. So if you get an opportunity to try that, I definitely highly recommend it. So that's pretty much it for class 1 here. If anyone has any questions about that at this time, they can certainly type those in the chat box, and I can answer those for you. Or there is an ability to raise your hand if you want. I believe I can allow you to talk too if anyone wants to speak a question. So I'll just give a few moments here if anyone wants to ask something. If not, then that's fine too. You're welcome. You're welcome, everyone. All right, thanks. Oh, somebody's raised their hand. Let's see here. Hey, Ty. Or Tay.
Oh, you're
Like,
right. You're absolutely right. It's Tay.
hey, hey.
No, thank you. My question is, I did have I was recommended, and I did take a session with Kerry, and I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. And one of the things she recommended was a chiropractor in Connecticut who does Atlas orthogonal work.
Orthogonal.
Orthogonal. Thank you. I
Yeah.
have to learn how to speak English, I think.
It's a sort of an unusual word for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I've seen him a few times. The first visit was expensive. It's really about um, how to improve. If this is the good, I don't know if this is the right question to ask, but I want to be more at peace in trusting that this chiropractor is the right person, and the attitude I'm trying to entertain, Adam, is that I trust. I trust where I'm being led for my healing. And I've been through this for over a year and a half. And just so you know, it's been a long road. Doctors have the conventional guys. I'm not trying to bash the white coats, but they were very quick after my MRI to recommend a cochlea implant. I say no. So anyway, that's the thing. Maybe the question is, and maybe your exercise is very helpful too, to improve my trust. I don't think I'm going to get a serpent if I ask for a fish,
Mhm.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, improving your trust. So it's like, so do you consider yourself a sort of like that you have struggled trusting people in general? Like, is that something you struggle with?
I don't think it's in general, no.
Okay.
It's really about my experience with the medical people, um, which was a cochlea. I don't even know if it's a cochlea. The MRI doesn't even say cochlea.
Mm.
It says cochlea unremarkable. This is all that led me by someone who has worked with Kerry,
Yeah.
recommended me to call Kerry, and that's what I did. And you know, Adam, maybe there is not an answer to this question, but I feel you're right. In a way, I'm struggling with this, the doubts that I like this chiropractor. He's positive, and basically, I'm doing work with him. He's basically balanced my atlas and has made a connection. I also had the opportunity to meet and speak to Dr. Joel Wallach, who's basically told me the same, which is that it is a kind of a squeezing of the nerve going to the right ear. So, yes, a lot of emotions connected with this. So, I just want to uh, build my peace and maybe not struggle with trust, but just to say, Tay, you know, it's almost like wanting a voice to tell me, hey, Tay, chill out, man. You know, I know what I'm doing.
Right.
No, the universe. I know what I'm doing, you know? Okay. Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
Yeah, so the one comment sort of about that I could say is like sort of you've invested energy into not trusting the white coat people. So therefore, yeah, so that's
And
carrying
money. And
forward,
money.
right? So that can be carrying forward with you. So by grounding, bringing your energy back to you, it'll help you to sort of see, sort of be more open, see a different side to things. And so by regularly doing this exercise on a daily basis, it should help to sort of, yeah, bring yourself back together, so you don't have to keep carrying on that pattern of having struggle like trusting doctors or practitioners or people like sort of in that sort of the healthcare field, because sort of you made that opinion about it and sort of like, and put that outside of yourself. And so that's, but it's like following you around with that. So then when you get in the presence of someone, you're like, well, should I trust this person or not? But rather than taking it sort of at almost like a fresh start with this person.
I see. I do see what you mean. And I'm going to see him again next week. Um, you know, it costs money,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yep.
also becomes perhaps a seed in my head thinking, well, you know, you're just going to spend money. But I'm going. I'm going next week again, and I'm doing a slight protocol with him. And so the main prayer, if you will, is that after all these years, after all this time, that I will be led, I guess, or I'm going in the right direction to get back my hearing. I'm a music producer.
Yep.
So this has kind of kicked me in the head. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So you're definitely being shown you gotta like, yeah,
No, and I
do
really
some things.
appreciate that you mentioned about getting a message, because I have spent a long time in trying to understand the message from a spiritual metaphysical point. I'm not saying I'm there, but I know that there are connections, um, you know, to this hearing issue, which is, you know, really, it really grounded me. It really brought me to my knees on a certain level. But I just, and I think I appreciate your advice, to keep bringing it back to the moment and to try to get rid of the chatter,
Right.
because I'm doing this now with this chiropractor and I might as well just go with it.
Right. Yeah. One thing, I don't know if I totally laid that out in the class when I was talking about, yeah, physical stuff. Typically I see it happen when I've worked with people all over the world. It's because it's happened to people because they are ungrounded. So yeah, something like your hearing, whether it be physical pain, digestive issue, it's forcing the person to have to bring their awareness back to their body and realizing that there's something not right with me. So it's like, and that's a clear sign that somehow you're ungrounded. You've thrown your energy, you've sort of given away a part of yourself at some point in your life, or several parts of yourself, and you have to pull yourself back now. So yeah, so the more you can sort of bring your energy back to you,
Yes, yes.
the quicker you'll heal from your hearing loss or your hearing issues and whatever else that's going on with you. Because it's like, because when we don't have all of us with us, it depletes us, it wears us down and makes us vulnerable, yeah, for physical, mental, and emotional imbalances in our life.
I appreciate that, Adam. I do understand what you mean, and you put it in terms of doing the work, and
Yeah.
so I have to do the work. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, because it's like, if you want to live the life you want, like no one's going to make you take the action, right? Like other than you, like,
Yep. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
you're welcome. All right. Looks like there's another question. Hey, all I see is owner, but I've just raised somebody else's hand here. Oh, did I? Nope. Hmm. Not sure how to do this. There's whoever owner is, I'm not able to like allow them to talk. But yeah, it looks like owner asked the question, how can we ground ourselves without going outside and touching the ground? It's essentially, it's through intention, how you're grounding yourself. You're intending to connect with Mother Earth. Like we just like how we intend to, like, okay, I'm intending to go to the grocery store to buy food. So it's like you're putting out that intention to do that. So it's like most people don't realize how powerful their intentions are. Intention creates a form of energy. So, and it's really, so you have to set the intention and then you feel it is how you'll ground. But like I was saying, so it's like, it's similar to like calling someone on the phone, when we're not actually physically touching the ground or touching something of the earth. All right. Well, again, thanks everyone for joining today's class. So next class will be next Friday at the same time here. Till then, take care, everyone.